Okay, this is a installation video on fitting the Slug power kit to the FX Crown Mark II. I don't know what the difference, if there is much of a difference internally with the Mark I, but this is for the Mark II. So first things first, degas the gun. So cylinder off. Try and do this without wobbling everything. Right, that's that bit. Put the bottle on one side. Now your gun is still pressurized, so they're still holding pressure within the plenum and other bits. So what you'll need to do, I think it's a 2mm, or is it a 2.5? No, 2.5. If I can get it. Now, anti-clockwise on the regulator. Just a slight tweak, and then hear that. And that's going to depressurize all the air out of the rifle. Make sure you give it time to get out. You only need to give it a slight tweak with that when it comes to depressurizing the gun. Right, so now that's depressurized, what we do now is we need to remove the safety catch. And we use 2mm. I always hold it there like that, give it a bit of a turn. Now there will be an O-ring on the bottom of this, so beware you don't do what I've done and lost it. So on there will be an O-ring, well, in the screw there, but it's only there to cushion the safety catch against the stock, not to provide any ways of holding the air in, so don't worry too much, but yeah, don't lose it. So put that to one side and turn the rifle around. Now this is the power adjuster. Under this power adjuster there's two ball bearings that is part of the mechanism for it's like a cam. As you turn that, the cam moves in and out and presses against the hammer spring, provides your hammer spring tension. So when removing this, ensure that, let's double check, ensure that you don't lose the ball bearings or the springs that's in there, and I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. So I'm going to undo this. And you will be, as you'll see, you've got two little ball bearings there. They're a bit like a 6 and 12 o'clock position, so don't lose them. All right, or that screw for matter, that comes at the bottom there. I'm going to put this back out of the way. Get yourself a little saucer or something to hold your screws and that in. Now, inside here you'll find that there is two little screws in these the recesses here. So I take a 1.5mm Allen key and I just gently, carefully pull that out. As you can see there, let's just get a better view here. There, don't lose these either. Right, that's the other one. Take that one out. Now you've got the safety catch and the power adjuster removed. So what you need to do now is remove the stock. Now again, I believe it's a 3mm. There we go. 3mm on this screw here. We'll remove that one now. I've had this rifle apart before, so everything's going to be a little bit easier to undo. So you got a brand new from the factory FX. Be prepared that screws may be a bit tight, so be aware when it comes to undoing them. I use these Allen sets from Wheeler, but sometimes a good old-fashioned Allen key set is just as good. This is just better for yeah, doing this sort of thing, but yeah, get yourself a decent set of Allen keys. Right, so taking that screw out there, and we want to get a 4mm, I believe, on the trigger guard here. I'll put this rifle like that way. So yeah, undo that there. As I said before, I've had this rifle apart a million times. Right, trigger guard, again, don't lose the screw. Right, so now we can carefully take the stock off. Now you must take it off straight up. If you don't, you could risk damaging these two lenses here on the pressure gauges. So straight off like that. Now just going to place this to one side. So we've got the block here. What we need to do now is to remove this hammer spring adjuster there and the trigger unit. Inside here is a trigger sear, and we need to get at that to be able to drop out the hammer and all that. So as you can see here, there's a bit of tape on this. There's a reason why there's a bit of tape on this, because I managed to lose one of the wood, one of the little metal dowels that fit in here. I believe they're about 2 mil by about 25 mil. I went to Bagnall and Kirkwood to go and get some spares, but I've got the wrong ones, so I'll keep those, and I've sent off for some ones to replace. But the one that I lost, I've just put like a 1.5 mil Allen key in to be able to retain the trigger properly. So what we need to do first is take the tape that you put here, Paul, to get out of the way. We'll take that little Allen key pin out. These shouldn't just come out this easy, but it's doing its job in case you lose it. So, but that's not ideal. So we'll take a 1.5 mil Allen key, and what I will do is I'll pop the back one out first, like so. Try not to lose it. Put that in my little saucer, and now the trigger is under a bit of tension here. It's onto this pin. There's a trigger sear spring that sits onto the trigger sear. Well, I'll show you in a minute, but when you remove this, beware that it's under a little bit of tension, so don't go losing the screw on the trigger. So again, we'll push this through here. That's out there like that. Get that in there out of the way, and the trigger will come free. As you can see, that's that little spring there. Don't lose it. And inside here, you'll have a trigger sear. So be aware when you tip it up, it will come out. There we go. To show you that there. That's the trigger sear. Some people have been polishing these up. It's a great video on Sub 12 air gunners. He's showing you how to polish it and all that. It does make things a little bit more smoother, but I won't be bothering with that. But that's your trigger sear. So again, moral of this video, don't lose that. Now, what you're going to be left with now is this hammer spring adjuster holder, whatever it's called. I'm not quite sure on the terminology here. We need to remove that. So to remove that, I think if I get this from memory the right way around. Yeah, so that's held in by a grub screw back here. Don't know if you can see that, but there's a hole there, a recess, and that there will hold a grub screw that I'll try and get out. There we go. Be aware, this rifle's been taken apart before, so yours may need a bit more of a shove to get off, but be careful. Don't go messing the threads up. I would use a decent set of Allen keys. These are good, but they're not ideal compared to the ball-headed. There you go. So that's that little grub screw there that you need to get out. Remove that, put to one side, and then you'll be able to take out the hammer spring holder. Now that's what that is. That's the hammer spring adjustment screw. I've wound mine right out because I've been tuning for 33 grain pellets. So what we can do, if so you're sure that it goes back to the same settings as before, is I take a set of vernier calipers and I will measure the distance between that and that, write that number down, and then I know, not exact, I know exactly what the hammer spring adjustment screw is. So you should be able to put it back in, say you want to put it back to stock, if the slug power kit doesn't work out for you. But yeah, so that's the trigger sear out and all that, and that's the shuttle and the spring. Try and get this out without. My apologies, a little bit of a brain fart there. The hammer was stuck in there with a little bit of grease, but I just got an Allen key and just moved it across there, give it a little shove. So I'll show you what the actual setup there. This is the factory hammer setup. That is the stock hammer spring guide. You've got your hammer spring and then your hammer. So what I'll do now is I'll take you through what comes with the kit for the Slug Power Kit and then simply install it. Okay, so you've got with the FX Crown Slug Power Kit, comprises of a high flow pin probe, fully adjustable with a grub screw at the back there. That will adjust the seating depth of your get it in there, the seating depth of your pin probe. On here as well, as you can see, I'm turning this a little bit. There is actually a smooth little an O-ring underneath that creates a fiction for it. So this comes off, and then at the moment this is set up for 2.5. I believe if you take it off, it's set for 2.2 already from factory, and then with this it comes for 30 cal. So you would just take that off, keep the O-ring on, and slide this one on if you're 30 cal. You have the new tungsten hammer weight. I believe this is 13 grams in weight. I haven't got a scale with me to hand, but this is a little bit denser, so it allows, it's supposed to be able to hit the hammer harder, get that valve open for a shorter time rather than a longer time, as hence the whole point of having slugs. So right, that's what that is there. You get a new I think this is called the spring shuttle, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Basically that takes the place of the factory one here. As you can see, you've got the spring guide, but with the Slug Power Kit you don't have the spring guide itself. You just fit the hammer weight into the hammer and then slide it on. But I'll show you that now. So get that one out of the way. So you got your hammer, put your tungsten hammer weight in. I have bought other weights, so by way of experimentation to see what, like, I got this one here from Bagnall and Kirkwood, and this is, I think, a 9 gram weight. I don't have to weigh, I should have really weighed. I'll put them in the description. So but what this is the hammer weight, which gives that a little bit more than it has from the factory, but again, it's all to do experimenting. So hammer weight goes in, spring on, and then you've got your spring shuttle. It's literally just a little recess like that there, that fits on there, and that is your complete setup for there. I will install this now into the crown and show you how to put the pin probe in as well and all that. Right, so there's your hammer weight, hammer spring. Now I may have to come out of shot here just to get this in, but I keep the grooves facing down and I'll bring spring in, and this is the bit where I go out of shot just to give it a little bit of a shake. There we go. I think that's it. And now fit our spring shuttle back in. Okay, make sure that's lined up, make sure you can see the actual hole inside here, so then you can fit your hammer spring adjuster. Make sure that goes back in like that. There we go. Now, very important that this hammer spring screw, you can see it, probably not going to get into focus now, is it? Bloody thing. There's a screw here. That must be outside of this circle here for you to fit the adjuster back. So, yeah, little point there. Right, I put the rifle up like so. this is the bit where things get a little bit tricky, so I'm going to just adjust my camera a little bit. I'm going to zoom in to try and show you what it is I mean. Right, so we need to reinstall, bring it in shot, the trigger sear. We need to do this first so that we can get the trigger unit in. So the way we do this is, the best way to remember this is, if you imagine see the curve here, sorry, see that little curve there, that curve must face up. So the way we do it, I take it like this, and then I'll take my little bit of dowel, and the way that we do this is, sorry, 2 seconds. Second one in is what is the pin holder. Sorry, that one there is the pin holder. My apologies. I'm jerking about like an idiot here. Let me just get this in, bear with me. Right, okay. So we take our trigger sear, so with the curved bit face it up, and we place this in here. There's other ways of doing this. You could lay it on the side there, but what I do, bit where you lose it. Right, so that's in there like that. That trigger seal will hang down there. It should rotate, which it does, yeah. So that's down there like that. Make sure these dowels don't come out. And then what you need to do is get your other retaining dowel, which is my broken bit of Allen key that I've used because I've lost the dowel. And that goes in the second one here. Right, and that stops the sear from poking all the way up. And then what we do, we take our trigger unit, and obviously making sure it's the right way around, obviously the trigger shoe's facing down the rifle, we locate the spring onto the top of that trigger sear. You'll see like a raised little bit there. That fits there on there like that. And we take our dowel, retaining pin, whatever it is called, and we put that in our last pin location hole. There is a certain way these go in. Yeah, that's right. The chamfered way faces in, and what we do is we push this pin in. We just maybe give the trigger a little bit of a wiggle. There. Now that's that bit assembled. What we're going to do now is reassemble the rifle, and that'll be it. But before we do that, we mustn't forget things, do we, Paul? Right, so one of them is that little grub screw that fits in, that holds this hammer retaining hammer spring retainer. Place that in there like that. When you tighten it up, sure that's held down there. Finger tight is all you need, really. Then give it a little bit of a, there, you don't want to overdo it. So that's there in like that. Rifle's reassembled. I'm just going to show you quickly how to change the pin probe on this for the high flow pin probe. So cock the rifle. You have an Allen key here, and I believe that is a 2.5 maybe. Yeah. I'll undo that. Take this Allen bolt right out. Stick that one out of the way. That's your pellet probe. Now, I will be experimenting with between this and the high flow pin probe. I've had conflicting results with other shooters, so it's all there to be tried in it, really. Good slug. So yeah, place that in there like that. Make sure the angle is facing the same as this one here. Bring it out. Don't go past it. You want to line up those holes. He says, whilst trying to do it. There we go. a little bit of a turn. Okay, so that's the high flow port put in. Ensure that when you get the right angle here, when you pull the port or the bolt all the way back, that the pin probe isn't protrusion, as you won't get your magazine in. So again, that's adjustable with an Allen key at the back here. It's again, you can sort of do tuning. You can adjust this, the seating depth. Some people have not bothered with the high flow port at all, but I'm going to put that in just for the sake of seeing how far I get with the slug tuning. Obviously, if this thing doesn't work and I can't get it managed, there won't be a follow-up video. I'm not going to do a video on how not to tune slugs. But yeah, so that's that there reassembled. It's just a case of putting the stop back on and doing your reverse with your power dial there. And that'll be it. Okay, that's the rifle fully reassembled and regassed and everything. One point I will make sure I mention, when reinstalling this power wheel adjuster, the actual hammer spring tension screw must be in far enough for this to be fitted back on. When you fit the slug power kit with the tungsten hammer, it does make things a little bit longer. So what happens is, instead of having to max out the hammer spring like you would with it not fitted, you need to turn that hammer spring back out, as in like less power, but out that way, so that can fit. Else you'll be trying to fit this in and you'll end up messing your gun up. But that's that there now. I will attempt to go out and see if I can get a good tune with this, but I might not be successful, but you guys might be. But you know, I should imagine that, tuning this rifle for pellets was a piece of piss, but as it comes with slugs and everything, as we all know, it can be a bit more trickier. So watch your space, and maybe there'll be another video. Cheers.